How's it going, everyone? It's Geoff Chrysler here, a detail enthusiast and owner of Rightway Heritage Trimming, and I'm back after many months of video hiatus. Finally found the time to put together a little video to show you what we've been doing, and boy, it's been a busy couple of months since my last video. I've been doing lots of great projects, staying really busy with, of course, all my Healey upholstery work that I do, but also several other cars that I've been working on. And so I'm going to do a bit of a workshop diary video to catch you up on what we've been doing here. And of course, also with all the work, I've also been enjoying my BN1. Really nice to have all the bugs sorted out finally for the time being, at least. And it's just been like the last 6 months has been amazing, driving and enjoying it and putting good miles on it, and just loving it. So I'll show you a bit of that too, and yeah, give you a shop tour, and let's get into it. In the shop currently, we have this beautiful BJ8 that was driven up here from Washington by its owners. They dropped it off here and then took a float plane home. And so it's here for a complete new Rightway Heritage interior in black, all black leather. Everything except for the top. This is their the top that this car came with. It's not an original top, but it's an older top that they are still using, and I think they're gonna probably end up replacing the top in another year or so, but this one's still working okay. So I was able to put it up. It had not been up, I don't think, in years, so when it got here, I carefully unfolded the top. It was very badly creased and distorted from having been stored down for so long. So we put it up, and man, it was so tight trying to get it clamped down around the windshield, as often happens when these tops aren't used for a long time. So took some time and used some heat and warm sunny day, and slowly but surely got her up there. And I've had it on for the last couple weeks that it's been here, and every couple days I go and I'm able to tighten up the little screws on the front there a little more. So but we've done lots here. Like when the car came in, it did not have any of the top seals installed. In fact, he was missing all of these aluminum trim pieces that the seals actually press onto. So we had to get a whole new set of these aluminum strip pieces, and then that's all of the proper gray top seal that I supply. All that's left is the little rubber caps to finish off the ends, which I've ordered a new set of those, and they're on their way in the mail. So as soon as they arrive, I can finish that. But yeah, he's got a complete Rightway interior. So that's a brand new dash top panel that I made in-house, and had to take apart the dash to access that center panel, which I retrimmed in vinyl. Whole center console was all fully retrimmed in vinyl, and we replaced the blanking. He had like kind of a fake radio with no actual radio in place, so we replaced it with the proper 3000 blanking plate, and replaced the speaker chrome because it was pretty bad. And of course, all new Carvel carpet throughout, and it's one of my carpet sets. And he's got, I also gave him some overmats here that has the Austin Healey logo on. We just purchased some of those and brought them in. But of course, this is one of my all leather seats. It's got the full leather front and rear seats, which was an option on these BJ8s. Although it was rare, the majority of BJ8s, as we know, had the vinyl seat upholstery, and the vinyl had like an embossed pattern on the pleats, and of course it had like a chrome color piping with it. But if you got the rare leather option, then it was all just plain leather pleats with non-contrasting piping, and so that's what it would have looked like. The vinyl had that same crosshatch pattern going across this backrest if you had the vinyl option. So, but that's a brand new backrest assembly, so it unfolds as the lunch shelf or parcel tray, whatever you want to call it. So that's all new and installed. So we're just waiting on the driver's side seat. He had some pretty rotten seat pan steel, so we had to get a new one for that side. So I'm just waiting for that to come in so I can finish the seat. And I'll show you the trunk interior, the boot interior. And here we are with the finished boot interior. So I got all the fresh armor cord in there, and the cover plate, and batteries put back in the way he had it, and yeah, all back together. So I'll give you a little bit of a shop tour here. You can see this is my lower area, the downstairs. Of course, cars can come in the main doors here, and yeah, there's all my posters and whatnot on the walls. The back half of the shop there is my landlord's. He uses it for car storage, so I have room for 2, maybe 3 cars if I do some shuffling around over there. Those are just boxes of packing. I like to reuse as much packing as I can. So, and of course, new boxes for anything going out. I always use new boxes. But yeah, and then of course, here's the project car on the left here. And this is my work area where I keep all my tools and supplies and whatnot, just for doing installation work at least. So keep that all down here. And of course, here's all Austin Healey posters and collectibles, cases of all the scale model cars I've built as you come in the front door here. And then, of course, the upstairs is just around the corner here, so we'll take you up there next. Some more Mercedes and Porsches. And of course, these are all patterns. And up here is where the magic happens. So we got all the different customers' jobs all on the shelving over there. Every shelf is a different customer. We got lots of jobs going on. So up here we've got some seats for a custom Jaguar XK120 that's going to be like one of the Le Mans race cars. So it's got these custom bucket seats. And we've got Healey carpet set there. Some seats and carpet pieces for a 3.8 E-Type Jaguar. That's some more carpet and armacord for a Healey BN4. This is a complete interior kit for E-Type Series 2 Roadster. This is a complete interior kit for an E-Type Series 1 Roadster, so 3 E-Types right there. And then a couple pieces, dash top and that for a Healey for Jetstream. We've got some big full meal deals of Healeys. Those 2 shelves are a complete BJ8 kit in black. These 2 are a complete BN1 kit in green. So that's all custom dyed. Well, it's original carpet, the last of some original carpet that I was able to find. And then all the armacord is custom dyed. Here's the leather in that. I've already sewn up these covers. I'm just cutting the wood for his panels, so that'll all be trimmed in the matching vinyl. And of course, his seats are coming along up there. There's one of the original seat cushions in the original leather. So yeah, we got MGB project here. We got a Healey BT7 seats and complete interior. Some more stock of seat foams and that. So keeping really busy with lots of customer stuff. Yeah, here's the main production area. You can see I've got on the cutting table, I'm cutting the leather for BJ8 in black leather. So got the hides laid out, and of course I gotta mark all of the blemishes and scars and stuff like that. You gotta really inspect these hides when you get them and make sure you cut around any of those blemishes so you're getting nice, good quality leather everywhere. And of course you wanna keep your patterns get the most yield as possible, so keep them as close together as you can. So yeah, that's what's involved with cutting. So I usually have 2 cut days a month where I cut all the leather and vinyl and armacord and carpet and whatever it is for all the projects happening. So everything's cut and ready to go, and then it goes in the queue for sewing, and I sew up all the covers and produce it all. So it keeps me really busy. You can see there's all my patterns in that hanging on the walls that's mostly all just Austin Healey patterns right there that you see. And then I've also got MG and Jag and stuff. Yeah, so this is the driver's seat for that red Heeley downstairs. I'm just waiting for a new steel cushion pan because his were really badly rotted, so we had to throw out the driver's side at least, and was able to keep the passenger side going and just repair it, but the driver's side was pretty far gone. So got a new one of those coming in, and then we can finish off that seat and put it in the car. And so over here we've got, of course, my main sewing machine and table, and some components for my wood shop here as I need them. And of course, got bins for all my samples for Austin Healey's and that, so I can send out sample packages quick and easy. And of course, this is all my drawers of tools and supplies and that. Yeah, well stocked on everything we need here. And of course, my little lunch area. And yeah, so here's the main bench cleared off now. All my materials and that underneath, samples and that going down the end here. So I've got everything we need up here to produce our Rightway Heritage interiors. Now, outside of here, I've had a lot of really great projects on the go over these past few months, including my first Mercedes 300 SL, which has always been a bit of a favorite that I've always wanted to do, and finally got the opportunity to do one, and man, what a great project. So I didn't get any video footage of it, but I do have lots of photos to show the job, so I'll show you some of that. So here we are, the Mercedes as I got it back in the fall. They let me take apart or remove all of the original interior. So here's the original leather pieces all coming out. So much leather in one of these 300 SLs. There's about 4 hides in total. So I documented removing all these original pieces to see how they went, because this was a very original, untouched car. So it was good stuff to follow. You can see the original foam there in the yellow. It's deteriorated into powder. So here's the new dash top leather going in. That's all one piece that I had to wrestle around the binnacle there and get it into place. Here's the new foam going in. You have to sand it out smooth, and then here's the leather going in on top of it. And so you gotta, cutting around the seams so the seams will lay flat. Lots of work with each piece of leather, these sewn pieces especially. So here's the windshield screen surround. It's trimmed in leather and foam, and then you install it on the car, and then the dash leather trims over the bottom edge of it. So it's all done in steps. Here's the front kick panels ready to go in. This is the dashboard itself with its the glove box, which is all leather trimmed inside, and there it is going into the car with the windscreen, so you can see all those pieces. The rear cockpit leather all going in. Here's the center tunnel leather foam work, and then the leather piece on top of it there. Here's the front tunnel section, which is carpeted, taking the original carpet and reproducing it, as you see here. Here's the passenger side, which has a lift-up flap for gaining access. And there it is, all fully trimmed. And here's the rear hatch where the top stows underneath of it, sort of a boot cover sort of thing that flips up. So it's all leather covered in one big piece. And there's the rear cockpit with it flipped up. And of course the carpet goes in over top of those pieces. Here's the original door panels, documenting them as they're coming apart and how they look and go together. It's all skived leather on this, like skived to be paper thin, so to reduce thickness, so you can get it all nice and tight together. But all the insides of the pockets and everything just trimmed in leather and foam work on the outside. Here's the new armrest going together, and with its pocket assembly, all new leather there, and trying to get that nice transition there so there's no gaps. Here's my new door panels going in, test fitting to the car before I trimmed them in leather. I painted the backs black and did the serial number as original. Here's putting the pockets on, and there's the finished door panels ready to put on the car. And of course the door cappings, which go on top of them. And here it is all together on the car. Wow, what a thing of beauty, eh? All of the pieces of chrome and hardware just bring it to life. Here's the original seats coming as they came, and just documenting how they go together, all the trimming methods, the backs. It's all hand sewn together. That back, you can see all the hand stitching holding the cover to the inner hessian. There's all the inner hessian on the inside. Again, it's all hand stitched in sub-assemblies. So hours and hours of stitching goes into these covers. Cutting the main cover, there's the horsehair foams that are beneath all the soft wadding. So I reused the horsehair sections but recovered it in fresh foam, as you can see here, to give it a nice new surface. So there's the covers coming around over the new foam and doing the pleated sections a little bit at a time. And then there's one of the finished backrests, hand stitching the carpeted backs on. Here's the original cushions coming apart, all hand stitched again on the spring casing with the hessian, and all the wadding underneath on top of the horsehair. And then here's my new cushion, all done, hand stitched in the center to give it that definition. There's the bottoms all hand stitched on. Here's the seat frames going on to the backrests, and here's the finished seats. So almost 40 hours in these front seats. There's so much that goes into them. Here they are. And here they are in the car. Look at that. Just beautiful. Here's the original sun visors as they were, and documenting them, how they're made, and taking them all apart and remaking each section, except for the metal frames, of course. And then here's my new sun visors all stitched up. And here they are on the car. And here's the boot interior, all carpeted. It's only the main mat that's bound, and everything else is unbound, surprisingly. Here's an original tool bag that I dissected and made in my new tool bag based on the original. So here it is. It's kind of cool how it folds up in sections and then rolls up again into that small thing. These are little crash pads that button to the inner top frame so you don't bump your head against the frame. Kind of neat little thing. Here's the top frame on the car, and I'm now fitting the new top, which has all these guide wires inside that keep it nice and tight. So lots to sort out with those guide wires inside the top. Little pockets all sewn in there, and they come through to the rear bow, and then they're tightened up tight. Here it is going together, and then everything's stapled off on that rear bow and then finished with a chrome finisher. Many hours goes into these tops. There you can see the guide wires inside those little pockets going along the roof, and again the sun visors. And here's where they staple off on the rear bow. You don't even see it, and it's up inside. Here's the finished top. A couple snaps in the bottom corners to keep it tight. But yeah, these tops look really nice, really well fitted. And here's the finished interior. A thing of beauty, just absolute jewelry. Many hours goes into one of these. It's a whole different ball game. Here's the finished engine that Coachworks did so beautifully, and the finished car. Absolutely beautiful. Another Coachworks Restorations masterpiece. I'm so honored to have been a part of it. So, thanks guys. So, in other news, the next project I was working on at the same time is this beautiful 67 E-Type Roadster. It came in for a complete interior change. Here's the black that it arrived in, and then tearing it all out and making room for a new magnolia and light beige interior. So here's all the floor mats going in, and of course the interior mostly in here. Here's the original seats in the black coming apart, and all new foams and new leather covers fully trimmed in the magnolia leather. So came out really nice color combination. Here's the top header pan in black, and here it is redone in the light beige to match the rest of the interior. Here we are putting the top up with new webbing straps, and of course the new beige top installed. All new seals as well, and yeah, just a really nice color change for this car. So much more vibrant than the black. Here's the inside of the top with that new header pan trim, and the finished interior in that beautiful magnolia. Just really stands out. Absolutely gorgeous. So I was really happy to do this car. Here's the finished door panels and door capping panels. And of course the top boot cover with red piping on it. And here's the car getting ready to leave in the bright sun. Had to take some good finish shots. Look at that. So off she goes back to my friend Richard Owens for some more mechanical finishings. But another job for Rightway Heritage Trimming. Thank you, Richard. She's all yours. So to finish off, I'll show you my lovely BN1, which I've been loving and enjoying and driving and getting lots of miles on her all summer, and she's just been a joy to drive. So really happy to have all the bugs worked out. And I suppose I should update you. The biggest thing that we got sorted out, if you'll remember, I was having overdrive issues on and off for much of last year and couldn't figure it out. And what I did figure out was that I blame it all on a battery charging issue that I had not noticed. And basically the way it manifested is one day we had gone up to a show and everything was working beautiful all the way to the show, but then coming home, the overdrive started jumping out at speed on the highway, and we started going into a bit of rain and turned on the wipers and headlights, and that made the overdrive jump out. So it's like it was fighting for power. It didn't have enough juice to feed everything. And you know, if you get up to a certain speed, it would jump out. So, and then sure enough, what I found was on that rain trip, I noticed that the ignition light was on, which tells you the battery's not charging, which, you know, it may have been on this entire time and I just never noticed it because it's such a dim light on sunny days. You don't see it. It was only when we were in the dim light of that rainstorm that I noticed it with top up and everything. So yeah, and then it turned into, well, why aren't the batteries charging? I checked the generator. It was putting out what it should. The regulator, I took the generator out and the regulator out and sent them to a shop to have them gone over, and yep, no, they work together beautifully. It's putting out a constant 14.4 like as it should. And so what it turned out to be, I started just going along with an ohm meter and tracing the entire circuit wire by wire. And second wire I tested, the field wire coming off the back of the generator, was not making contact to the regulator. So there was a break in the wire somewhere, and I was trying to figure it out. And the actual terminal on the end of this wire, brand new wiring harness, and whoever put those terminals on when the harness was made had a dead joint. They had crimped on the terminal to the end of the wire, and they crimped it so tight it actually cut the wire inside, and then they soldered this. So it was a dead joint, so I had to cut off that terminal and replace it with a new one and put the heat shrink on it again like it was, and that solved the problem. And now the battery's charged properly, the overdrive works beautifully. It's been flawless now for about 6 months, and been putting lots of miles on it. Like I say, we were up to Brits on the Beach last weekend, which is about an hour and a half drive each way up island, and you have to go up the Malahat Highway, which is up and down a big steep mountain. So, but oh, no problem for this car. She has tons of torque and just took it no problem. And we're cruising 60-70 miles an hour all the way, mountain or no mountain. Just ate it up, no problem. And so yeah, and now I am on the organizing committee for the West Coast Austin Healey Club Rendezvous meet, which we'll be hosting here in Souk next year in 2024. So Souk is actually where I lived for a number of years when I first moved to the island, and so we'll be having it at the Prestige Hotel there, right on the ocean, which is a beautiful spot. And I'm just currently organizing where we're going to have the car show locally here on the Tuesday. I think I've got a great spot for it. And I'll also be putting together the concourse judging so that hopefully we can finally get this car judged properly. So really looking forward to that. Really excited for Rendezvous next year. And yeah, so I'm going to conclude this video here. I hope you've enjoyed having a view at what we've been working on over the last few months. Boy, it's been a really busy year for Rightway Heritage Trimming, and I am so grateful. living the dream in every way. So until next time, I'm Geoff Chrysler, a detail enthusiast and owner of Rightway Heritage Trimming. We'll see you again.
Enjoying your drive, sir?
Loving it. Jolly good time.
And how about the power?